People of the Beeline, people of the Beeline, guess what? Guess what? We got a guest today, and I'm very excited about this guest. We're going to be talking something that I'm very passionate about, something that I like a lot, something that we're going to get to know a little bit more on this podcast right here. But if you guys don't know, who don't know, how could you not know? I'm loud. You can hear me from wherever you are on this planet. I got a microphone for no reason because I'm just loud. But yo, check it out. It is Tuesday. It is 5 o'clock. I almost said 9 o'clock, 5 o'clock, fix myself. And it is time. It's time for the what? For the what? For the what? For the Beeline, baby. Let's go. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. I can't say it enough. I'm going to say it every single time that I start these podcasts. Thank you guys so much for the love, for the support, for the sharing, for the offering, for everything that you guys do. I love this show. I love doing this, and it's much appreciated. Please, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, please make sure you hit that bell for the notifications. I'm posting more. I'm acting more. I'm recording more. I'm doing everything more. So we're going to get it going. But yes, so today, as you can see, we got a screen on the screen, another screen on the screen. That means we got a guest up in the Beeline today. And I am very proud to introduce Mr. Erik Allen. Mr. Erik Allen, he hosts the MMA. I'm sorry, I don't want to get the name wrong. What's the name of your podcast, Erik? I see you got a couple.
Yeah, so the Top Rated MMA show comes out every single Saturday, and the Erik Allen show comes out every single Friday, man.
Ooh, he's doing it big. He's doing it big, guys. He got two podcasts. I'm struggling with one. He back and forth with two. But we're going to get to know Mr. Erik Allen. He's very big in the MMA community. He's been doing it for a long time. Over 340 podcasts, I think he said he has at this point. I mean, I'm definitely going to take some notes on this episode. Beeline, take some notes. But, without further ado, hey, Mr. Erik, how are you doing? Welcome to the Beeline. We want to get to know you a little bit more. So go ahead and tell us about yourself a little.
Man, first of all, thank you so much for this opportunity to be on your show, man. It's truly an honor, dude, and love being here. Yeah, my name's Erik Allen, man. I'm a podcaster, voiceover artist, coach, content creator, and two podcasts, man. The Top Rated MMA show started out as an apparel company in 2012, converted it to a podcast in 2017, and did almost 100 episodes at a walk-in closet. And now I've upgraded to an office now, but, humbly considered the #1 MMA podcast out here in the Northwest. And my other podcast, it's called the Erik Allen Show. It's where I talk with entrepreneurs, world changers, and success-minded people, man. I've been blessed to speak with some truly amazing people, man.
Yeah, I saw that. If you go on Mr. Erik Allen's website, he's got it posted on his Facebook page. We're gonna leave all his information in the description on this video. And but he's spoken with a lot of really influential people. I was actually seeing that you spoke with I talk about one big one I saw that you spoke with, but Mr. Eric LeGrand. Like, I remember his story from WWE, and like such an amazing story, man, such an amazing thing, and such a great spirit and attitude when faced with such crazy situation that's happened in his life. And I mean, I hit him up not too long ago, might have been like a year ago now, but his story is amazing, man.
He is such a great dude. And with a lot of my guests, and Eric's one of those guys that about every 3 months, man, I send him a video just to say, man, I'm so proud of you. You're out there killing it, dude. Yeah. And I love that he responds back with videos, man. And so, yeah, I connected really well with him, man. And it was just really cool to have him on my show, man. And like I said, we chat via Messenger about every 3 or 4 months, man. He's such a great dude.
Yeah, that's awesome. I would love to have him on just to talk and experience, just to kind of get to know him too. He won me over because like I said, I saw him when I was watching the Hall of Fame in WWE, and he came on stage. I think he received the Warrior Recipient Award, and he came on stage and he was talking about his favorite moments in wrestling, and he sat there when The Rock did the jabroni beating, pie eating, I was like, yes, I was like, this guy gets it, I was like. And it was just so much it just brought me back to that period. I was like, I was watching that shit right when he was watching it, and I know just how he was feeling. I was feeling the same way. Yeah, he seemed like a great dude, man.
Yeah.
But much love. But so you've had him on your show, and that was that. I kind of showed me that you got more than just MMA. you know, people that come on and stuff like that. Tell us about some other people that come on the show that you speak with.
Yeah, so the Top Rated MMA show, I really focus on up and coming MMA fighters or early pro fighters. And occasionally I'll bring on bigger names. You know, Ken Shamrock's been on my show twice. Yes. And Dan Caldwell, the founder of Tap Out, was on my show earlier this year. You know, so just some really heavy hitters. Julian Arosa has been on the show. Miranda Danger Granger's been on there. And I just love talking with MMA fighters from that perspective. And, you know, the show started originally like me asking them, why do you want to get punched in the face? And then I've heard everything from, well, I did, you know, karate and a transition to MMA to I have a federal offense and I can't get a real job, but I can go fight somebody and put food on the table for my kids.
Yeah.
And I love hearing those stories, man.
Yeah.
And so the other show with Erik Allen, the Erik Allen show, really, it started as the Bearded Biz show when I originally started it. And really it was a joke. Like if I have this podcast called the Bearded Biz, I never have to shave the beard. And then my wife being the smart one says, yeah, we're probably niching down too much. So we changed the name, but you know, Ken Shamrock, probably one of the coolest dudes I've ever gotten to talk to, been on my show twice. I love what he's doing in Valor Bare Knuckle now, but like talking about his old MMA days and old wrestling days and Impact Wrestling and WWF, man, when it was WWF. And, you know, it's just like super cool. One of the coolest guys I've had on the show, man.
Listen, man, that was one of the things when I first saw, like when I first, you know, we met each other and stuff, I was sitting there looking, I was like, yeah, Ken Shamrock going, and this is what's crazy. And I don't want to go too far into it, but it's just like, Ken Shamrock, you know, I've been a WWF fan. Beeline, they know. You want to know why they know? Hey, Erik, I'm just going to get it out the way because I'm going to do it because I do it every episode. Yo, check it out. The reason why y'all know I'm a freaking WWE fan, WWF fan, is because I invented Coffee Mania, baby. That's right, COVID Mania. That's what we call COVID-19 over here on the Beeline. It's COVID Mania. And that came from, you know, little Hulkamaniacs and ripping this shirt. That's right. That's your boy. But yeah, man, I've been a wrestling fan for my whole life. So it's like the Attitude Era is like the golden age of WWF, you know. And one of his biggest stars was the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock. And you want to know something? It's crazy because he didn't get, or he doesn't get, the recognition that I believe he deserves as like one of the greats of that time period, man. You know, besides just like the UFC, you know, legend status, besides just his brother, you know, Ken Shamrock, what's his brother's name? I forgot. Frank Shamrock. Yeah. I remember watching him fight in Minotauro, not Minotauro, Antonio Nogueira, his brother, Minotauro's brother. You know, just some of the greats, man. And I just wish that WWE, yo, Vince, if you're watching, you got to get COVID Mania under control, and you got to get my boy Ken Shamrock up there on the Hall of Fame, man. There's ain't no reason why he shouldn't be up there. But yeah, man, Ken Shamrock was one of the childhood dudes I used to follow, man. Him and his battles with The Rock, ankle lock, I snap, and kick all the referees' ass too. Yo, Ken Shamrock was the best.
Totally, man. I mean, I grew up with this thing. My dad would take me out to like the local regional wrestling scenes. And I mean, I'm 41. So like when I was a kid, my dad was taking me out to regional scenes. I was seeing Jake the Snake on the regional circuit and Dusty Rhodes on the regional circuit, man. You know, like those crazy guys on that time. And then I actually ended up living with a guy when I was in Seattle. He was a wrestler out in the Seattle area. His name was Mr. Sexy. And so for 2 years, I lived with a professional wrestler. We had the ring in the backyard. They do like Royal Rumble practice in the yard, dude. It was crazy.
That sounds like so much fun. I'd have to quit my job and everything because I'd have just been playing all day.
Totally, dude.
That shit must have been amazing.
It was fun. The neighbors called the cops on him because the ring was so loud when they were doing body slams and stuff. So the cops came and like made us take the ring down. But we had it up for probably about a week and a half where it was just like 15 dudes in the backyard just like body slamming each other in practice, and it was awesome. That
is awesome, man. That sounds so much fun. Yeah, I love that. So yeah, man, I definitely saw you introduce Ken Shamrock. I was like, oh man, this guy got Ken Shamrock on the show. He's got stardom all over. But so what I wanted to ask you, like you said before, you mentioned you know, the first thing you kind of ask these guys is like, what makes you want to get punched in the face? And it's funny because, you know, watching like shows like The Ultimate Fighter and things like that or whatever, like you see, you know, a lot of, you know, the more recent episodes, they really show like the life of these guys who are coming, you know, trying to, you know, obtain a contract. And you see what they go through, man. And like you just said, there's a lot of them that are like, this is my only option. I've given up everything because I want to be a fighter. Like, this is just what I feel like I'm destined to be. And that's an amazing thing to sit there and say, like you said, I want to go get punched in my damn face every day for a living. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
it's wild, man. And that's partially why I started like the entrepreneurship podcast as well, is because entrepreneurs, we get punched in the face all the time too. Hopefully not physically, but we're like, we get the nose rejected and failure, and we get shut down from everything, but we keep going. Why as a fighter, whether you're an entrepreneur or an actual cage fighter, why do we keep going through that, man? And so I love hearing those stories of just, surpassing through all of that stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest things, man. When you talk about these guys and you say this, I remember back in the day, like, when I used to talk about, UFC and stuff like that or whatever, and people used to be like, oh, we don't like that, it's barbarians and blah blah blah, it's so aggressive, it's so this. But now it's like, you really see, like, it is a sport, man, and probably one of the most complicated sports that ever had to be done. You know what I'm saying? Boxing, you fight, but I mean, boxing isn't full body. You're not worrying about takedown. You're not worried about, where you are with boxing. So it's just like MMA, mixed martial arts, is just like the most competitive thing that you can possibly do. You have to train ridiculously hard, and you can have nothing but respect for these guys who are saying to themselves, like, hey, I want to do this, even though it's hard, even though it's a struggle. I've always been passionate about, fighting. It sounds crazy because fighting is not like the best shit to do, but right. I mean, as a skill, as an art form, whether it's martial arts, karate, jujitsu, whatever, it's a talent, man. It's a fucking skill that, people like, John Bones Jones, man. That's my favorite right there. That's my dude. I'll get out the way of John Bones Jones. John Jones, you watch it. Your boy Brian B on you. Yo, yeah, John Jones, man. I love John Jones. I was sitting there. I got into MMA right around when Anderson Silva, Rampage, Rampage was out, Rashad Evans. Like, that was my team that I grew with MMA with when I really started getting into it. But these guys are phenomenal, man. So how do you usually come into contact with the new fighters that come on the show?
So I book 99% of my guests for both of my shows through Instagram Messenger.
See, I take notes. I'm taking notes right now.
And look, here's the thing. And I sell this in my course for $1,000. I'm going to drop some knowledge right here for you. Okay. If you want to book the big names on your show, and this is for anybody out there that has a podcast, quit sending emails, quit sending templated notes to them in Instagram Messenger. Here's exactly what I do. I pull out my phone, 30-second video maximum. Ed, what's going on? It's Erik Allen. I'm out here in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I know you got this book. Let's push that. Let's get you on the show. We'll talk soon. Peace out. 30 seconds. Send it to them. It's a personalized video, and you're promoting them, something that they're doing, something that they just dropped. Maybe that's a new book, or maybe they got a fight coming up, something like that. Tell them, hey, man, let me help you promote that for you. People want to talk about themselves. 9 out of 10 times, they're going to respond back and go, heck yeah, I've never had anybody reject me when I sent a video. I've had some people ignore it, but I've never had anybody like message back going, screw you, dude. But that's the way, man. That's the way to book your guests.
That was awesome information right there. You just helped me out, because I'll tell you right now, that's usually how I do it. When you said Instagram Messenger, I was like, yep. You know what I mean? I'm still like kind of on Facebook, doing it the same way like that. But
that's how I got Erik LeGrand too.
Oh yeah. And see, I sent him a message on Instagram. I didn't think about that, but that's actually a very, very, very smart tool, and I'm definitely going to steal it from you.
Yeah, so bring it, dude. Totally, absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, in your time, being in this field and having a lot of knowledge as far as the MMA space, have you ever wanted to compete yourself, or have you ever trained, maybe took a couple fights?
No, I've never fought, man. When I was in high school, I did a little bit of boxing, a little bit of karate as a kid, but nothing competitive or anything like that. Wasn't it very long. But always been a huge fan. Like, I grew up in the day, my dad would have pay-per-views of Mike Tyson going on, man. Like, old school boxing. And my dad would go and rent videos of ninja movies. Didn't have any English, but we would just watch these dudes do ninja movies, like crazy kicks and stuff like that. And as a kid, I was just like, oh, I love this, And then he took me to see, WWF matches as a kid. So I've seen Hogan and Ravishing Rick Rude and the Bulldog, man, and Demolition, guys, man, like Legion of Doom, like those guys, man. And so I've always been this fan of combat sports. I think I was a ninja for Halloween for like 15 years straight, it's just like, I love this, man. And so I love and respect them from a distance, but every single fighter, wrestler, guy, MMA fighter I've ever met the nicest people I've ever met in my life were
Yeah.
fighters.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear. And and it makes sense too, because like,
Yeah.
I think, you know, I'm a big fan of Joe Rogan, you know, Joe Rogan,
Sure.
Mr. UFC commentator himself.
Yep.
And he's always said that, you know, he has, you know, a whole separate, you know, thing he does with his show with MMA. And all the guys that come on, man, they're just so well spoken, they're respectful. And it's just like, I think that once you realize you've established yourself as, hey, I know I'm who I am, I'm confident in myself. I don't mind walking around with my head up, like, oh, I'm the tough guy, I can kick your ass. And I think that's a huge, you know, a huge thing to speak on, you know, kids who take karate. I think it's a huge thing to speak on kids who take jujitsu, you know, at a young age. Like, I know you said that you're currently, your kids do jujitsu as well, right? So
yeah, they just got into jujitsu and striking, man. They've had like 4 classes each, and they go at the same time. And it's taught by a friend of mine who's a professional fighter out here by the name of Craig Feisner. And, you know, they love it, man. They go strike. They've never done striking or jiu-jitsu before, but they went to this class and it was like, they picked it up right away.
yeah,
You know, and they love it. My daughter's got a good right hook. So I said, hey, you know what? I don't care if, I don't want you to ever start a fight, but you finish the fight with that right hook. It's all over.
right.
You know?
Hey boys, you heard what they said? Better get ready. Like,
yeah.
But you know, to my point is like, these guys are trained in that sport or in that field, and I think the confidence is what gives these guys a lot of that good attitude. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
Just knowing that they do work hard and they drive for success and they do something that a lot of people are scared to do or won't do. I don't think you need to be an asshole at that point. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
totally.
It's like you're doing something that a lot of people ain't going to be able to challenge you on, isn't going to be able to do themselves. So it's like, why would you put yourself in the, man, fuck everybody, I'm walking around, I can kick everybody's ass. You know what I mean? It doesn't, it's not helping them. It's not beneficial for them or whatever. So I can see how, like, you know, their personalities will probably be like amazing, just good people, man. Totally. And that's all I've ever heard. But yeah, one of the things that, you know, when I got into, because I was always into wrestling, like you said, combat sports, boxing, Mike Tyson fights, all of that stuff. I always was into that. My father was huge on it too. But I was actually in a laundromat. This might have been maybe 15 years ago at this point. I was in a laundromat. If it was that, maybe like 15, 10, 12 years ago or something. But I was in a laundromat and I was washing my clothes and they had The Ultimate Fighter on. And Ultimate Fighter, the episode, the season where Brandon Shaw was on it, Kimbo Slice was on it, the heavyweights, Roy Nelson. I'm watching it and I saw the fight, the first fight, it was the first entry fight or whatever. And it was big ass dude, big brawling white guy dude. And he was fighting a shorter bald head, like wrestler dude. Right. And I'm sitting there thinking like, this big dude about to destroy this guy. Like there's no way like this guy's gonna make it. And I'm watching this shit and I'm sitting there like the wrestler dude, he just pushed his face, you know, went to his legs, pulled him down and was just pounding this guy's head. And the bigger dude was on the ground, blood pouring out of his face, getting his face pounded. And I'm watching this shit like, you know, I've seen fights and stuff before. I've kung fu, stuff like you said. Sure. And I'm just watching this shit and I'm seeing this and I'm standing up and I'm feeling like I'm getting lightheaded. I'm getting dizzy, like, holy shit, like this guy is getting his head pounded in. Yeah. But I couldn't look away and I couldn't like not be interested in it. You know what I mean? Totally. And that's where I found my love for it. I was like, damn, I love this. Like it feels like I shouldn't, but I guess it's just that drive where it's like, yeah, this hurts. Yeah, this is bad. Yeah, that looks dangerous. Yeah, that looks bad. But it's like a part of you is just like, but I could probably do that shit. Like,
that's awesome.
Fuck around with that. And that's why I kind of started, that's when I got into boxing. And that's when I started kind of trying to, you know, train. And I was doing a lot of things myself, but I had a lot of people that were like helping me and teaching me different things. Yeah. And I never stuck with it, unfortunately, but I did do it for a while. Nice. But yeah, I love it, man. I really wish that I would have kind of made more of a successful situation from it, but I'm not scared of that shit at all. I love it, man. Yeah. It's a great feeling. A lot of confidence.
Yep.
Yeah. But
both guys that are I think they're fighting this week for the Ultimate Fighter, Brady Heistan and Josh Rittenhouse. Both those guys have been on my show. They're both from this area where I'm from. And so it's cool that they know each other locally and now they're fighting on the show, man. So it'll be cool to see who wins that fight, man.
So they're the Conor McGregor fight, or you're talking about the
Ultimate Fighter this week.
Okay. Oh yeah. I gotta watch it. I know I watched the one last week or whatever. They got a really good season this week, man. The guys, they're hungry, bro. Like I've also been going back and watching some of the past episodes since I'm like, because once the one's done, I want to watch more.
Yeah,
It's
totally.
I've been watching the one with John Jones and Shale Sonnen. And
Oh yeah, for sure. That was a
man,
great season,
that
man.
was a great season, man. Yeah, it was really great. Shale is one of them dudes that I really respect. Yeah, I like the bad guy, bro. I vote for the bad guy. Like, yo, fuck that. This weekend, man. This is one of the things, like, the scary stuff. Like you saw what happened with Conor, right, man? Conor
Yeah.
McGregor. Yeah, man, his ankle broken like that. That shit was crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
How dangerous like that that's a possibility, you know what I'm saying? He didn't even get hit, like, just fucking stepped wrong or kicked wrong and bam, broken ankle, completely devastating.
Yeah.
But how you feel about that? Like, how you feel about how how they amp the fights up and just like kind of like, because he said some really disrespectful shit, man. Like
Totally.
how you feel about fighters in that nature? Like, you feel like that's necessary?
I don't, I think the best fighters out there are the guys who don't talk the smack, like, yeah, there's guys out there that are real confident. I love Nate Diaz and Nick Diaz. Those guys are probably my favorite fighters in the world. Like besides Donald Cerrone, probably another one of my favorite fighters.
Yeah.
A big fan of Dustin Poirier, man. That guy has been around forever. He's lost a lot of fights. He's come back and he's won a lot of fights, and then for him to have this opportunity to fight Conor McGregor, lost the first one when they fought way back in the day, but then comes back and shows the dominance in the second fight.
Yeah.
And I think, this fight, as much as Conor wants to say that he was winning that first round, he wasn't. He was losing that fight, and he wouldn't have gotten past the second or third fight. Dustin would have dominated it again. I've never been a fan of Conor McGregor. I think the guy is a big smack talker and he's way overhyped. He's not a true champion. He's never once defended a belt ever in his entire career, and he's owned the belt 3 times, and he just lets him go. So he's not one time delivered or defended a belt ever in his career. He's got some good striking, but you take him on the ground, it's all over. And I think that got to his head, especially after he lost to Khabib, and he's never been the same since. And I think, like Dustin said in the press conference, karma's a mirror, man. Like that ankle, like, and then for Conor to be sitting there on the ground still talking smack, like that was kind of a bum deal, man. Like I like how Dustin responded and is respectful about that, man. And I don't know, I'd like to see Dustin get the belt, and I think he is next up for the title, but we'll see how he does, man.
He's got to be definitely next up for the title. I couldn't even think of anybody else who was comparison, because Nate lost. The dude that Nate fought, I forgot his name. He was like a British black guy. I forgot, but he was, the last Nate Diaz fight. And when Nate came back at the end, that shit was crazy. And Nate came at the end and almost whipped his ass.
Totally.
He whipped my boy ass the whole fight. Like he was fucking dominant. I gotta look him up. I'll put it in the video. But he was dominant. He kicked Nate's ass, man. But Nate came back at the last. That's why this shit is so exciting, because it's like, you never can count anybody out, man. You can't, because you never know what's coming back. It's just one fucking hit, and that's it. Your ass can be put down. And that's the most phenomenal stuff. But like you said with Conor, man, it's a two-way street for me, though. It's like I'm not really a Conor fan, because I'm just not that. It's not really for me or whatever. But I do like when shit is amped up, bro. Maybe it's like the WWF side of me and stuff. Like I like that storyline that's building up to that. I can't wait to see this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you know it's gonna be good. Like, the Mike Tyson press conferences back in the day. Like, somebody's getting knocked the fuck out. Like it's
right.
But like Conor was kind of out of pocket with like he was just doing a little extra. I think he was pissed because of the situation. Sure. But them bad blood fights, man, I love them shits. Like John Jones and Daniel Cormier. Oh man. Yeah. You could taste the heat on that fucking fight, man. Like it was incredible, yo. I love stuff like that. But yeah, man. So, so we do a lot with MMA, and that's amazing. Like, it's really cool that you help these guys out and these up and comers, give them a platform to kind of speak, and much respect for that. So tell us about a little bit more about, like you said, like entrepreneurship and like the other podcasts that you host. Like, how about the like who comes on there majority?
So I talk with a lot of guys that are entrepreneurs. And so that whole show started because I came across a guy named Ed Milet online back in 2018. And when I came across Ed, I was like, holy crap, this guy is speaking to me like entrepreneur, like going, dude, you got to make some changes. You want to do this. You got to get some stuff happen. Got to make stuff happen for you, and his thing, and Tony Robbins has said it too, is like, life happens for us, not to us. And so when I heard that, I was like, man, I'm going to start this other podcast. I want to talk with entrepreneurs. I want to know what makes them successful and why am I like not on that level yet? What things can I do to get up to that level? And in 2018, Ed Milet issued the Max Out Challenge on Instagram to his 1 million followers. And he said, send me a 1-minute video of what you're passionate about, what drives you. And I sent a video and I won. So I won a phone call with Ed Milet. He's worth $450 million. And I got to have a 30-minute phone call with him on Zoom. And I recorded that. And I was able to release it as episode 12 of that podcast. And it basically took off from there. So I already had Sean Whalen on my show, Sean Whalen's the guy who owns the company Lions Not Sheep. Like crazy story. That dude had everything, lost it all, put a gun in his mouth, pulled the trigger, it jammed. He lived, restarted his life, and now he's doing awesome again. But like, I love hearing those stories of failure, things like that.
Yeah.
So I've been blessed to speak with like Ed Milet and Sean Whalen, Brad Lee, Bedros Keuilian, Tim Story, Eric LeGrand, Jim the Rookie Morris. The movie The Rookie is based off his life. I've had him on twice.
Shit, okay.
I just talked to a guy named Steve Sims. That guy is unbelievable. He like takes people's dreams of what they want to do and he 10X's it. Oh, you want to go into space? Cool. He hooks it up. Like, you want to meet Elton John? Cool. You get to go sing lessons with him. Like, crazy, like concierge service that this guy does. And so I love talking with entrepreneurs. Ed talks about like, if you're walking around at 85 degrees, you go find guys that are walking around 185 and just being in their presence is going to lift you up. And so I'm truly a big believer in like, you're going to become those people that you're hanging around with. And one of the guys that was on my show, Greg Reed, he wrote the book called 3 Feet from Gold, which was a follow-up to Think and Grow Rich. And I'm going to be at Greg's house in about 2 weeks down in Carlsbad, California, meeting with his mentors. There's going to be 50 people at that house only for 3 days, just soaking it up, man. And I'm like, I'm ready. I'm so fired up and ready to go down there, man. And awesome. Yeah, man, I'm super excited.
Yeah, that is fucking phenomenal, man. Yeah. You just dropped like in that one little segment you just did right there, like, damn, like you dropped a lot of knowledge right there, man. Like,
dude, it's all about committing. Like, I still work a 9 to 5, man. So like, for me, like being an entrepreneur is awesome. And I will be a full-time entrepreneur probably within the next 12 months. That's my goal. But like, you have to be committed to it. So I wake up at 4 a.m. 6 days a week, man. I get up, and if I open my eyes, there's win number 1. I open it, make my bed. There's 2 wins in 15 seconds. It's going to be an awesome day. And so then I get upstairs. I got this vision wall. I go through my vision wall of like reading quotes. I look at a picture of my family, about the property I want. And one of the things I talk about is, that's on my wall is if I can't pee off my front porch, my neighbors are too close. Like, I want that property that allows me to pee off my front porch and I can just say, hey, I don't care. I ain't got no neighbors, right? But like, people are like, why do you want to wake up so early? It's because my desire to be successful is bigger than my desire to sleep.
For sure. Period. Yeah. That's one of the biggest things that actually, it's crazy you say that, because I've actually started doing that as well. Like, I got motivated from that, from like The Rock, like it's Joe Rogan, people like that. These are guys that sit there, there's no sleep for them. The Rock posted a picture this morning, like 3:45 in the morning, bro. This is a guy that does 500 fucking jobs. Like, you can't even name everything he does, man, from movies to this, that, just bought the XFL for business. Like, hey, this guy has so many damn jobs, I don't even know how he keeps up with them. But every day, wakes up, gets up, takes care of himself, prepares for the movie role, prepares his body, does this. If he could do it, you can do it. I learned that shit from a job before at Comcast. I worked at Comcast, and some things you get from shitty places, but I got this from there. And they said, if one man could do it, another man could do it. And that was like one of the things that taught me, like, it's true, man. There's no excuse to make excuses, yo. It's like, you're supposed to be able to find reasons for why you want to get shit done every day. And having a vision wall, like you just said, and things like that, things that motivate you immediately. As soon as you open your eyes, make your bed real quick, and then you fucking go over to that wall and say, yeah, this is what I'm doing today. That's right. I remember I'm getting my shit where I needed to be. And that
Yep.
shit, it's phenomenal. It feels really good. That's what I'm doing with my show now. You know what I'm saying? Like your show, fucking phenomenal, man. You have a lot of experience and much success, yo. Congratulations to all your success you've had so far, and much for the future. But I'm saying to myself that now I don't want to work for anybody anymore. I'm 34. Want to take my shit into my own hands, and this is what I love. I love talking with very interesting people, meeting new situations, and I'm on my way to start my success journey. Much love, man. Yeah. I'm really glad to have you on and talk about stuff like that. I think people really need this, especially in this time. I think people really need to remember.
Man, it's an honor to be here. And, I think like people who don't know my story, just know that your past doesn't define your future. You can make a change at any point, man. Very true. I'm that kid who had to beat up my mom's boyfriend when I was 13. I was kicked out of my house at 13. I moved 21 times between 18 and 21. I was in jail at 18. I was bankrupt at 21. I battled addictions, was in the music business, lived this rock star lifestyle, man, and then got it all taken away. Yeah, and then I decided, man, it's time to change, and I'm building back up, man. Yeah. And so my desire, my goal, man, is to leave a different legacy for my kids than what my parents left for me, man. And that's what my wife and I, our goal is to, break those chains of addictions and, abuse and rejection that we both dealt with, man. And our kids, man, they're awesome kids, man, and they won't live that life that we had.
Very true. Very true. Yeah. So you got two kids, right? You got a boy and a girl.
Yep. Yep.
Awesome.
My oldest is a girl, man. And she tough as nails, man. She takes after me. I love cliff jumping into the water. We live by the lake. My son's a little bit more timid, but this year, he was boom, I'm jumping into the water. He's all of a sudden he's grown up. He's, he's ready to rock and roll. So it's cool to see him, growing that, man.
Everybody's probably tired of sitting in the damn house all day. I'll do anything. I don't care. Just get me out of here.
Right. Yeah, totally.
Tired of this COVID shit, man. We all ready to I'll jump off a cliff, whatever you want. Just get me out of the house. Yep. Yeah, but like you said, I think that is another big thing, kids and stuff like that, motivation. For one thing, I've been trying to teach my son. I got a son and a daughter, and then a 2-year-old daughter now, and I'm trying to teach him how to box and do stuff. I had a whole fucking gym and everything. So that's why me being overweight is the stupidest thing impossible, because I got so many tools for the trade. But I'm trying to teach him boxing just to kind of, like I said, with confidence. That confidence is what you gain a lot, even if you're not the best fighter in the world, or you're training to fight somebody. Just being able to know how to do something a little different, that's hard. It's very challenging. It might hurt a little bit. It might, you might get into a fight one day and you'll know how to defend yourself. Shit like that makes a difference in, I think, a child's development. Especially now where they have so many images of things that they're comparing themselves to, or especially with girls, you really need that structure and that guidance, to help your kid, kind of find his way a little bit better, I think. Yep. But man, but congratulations on that. But
thank you.
Yeah. So you said you kind of went through a crazy ass life, man. So it's where are you from right now?
I live in Idaho.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. We're in Georgia over here. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, about 100 miles from Canada. If you're looking at a map, tucked up in between Washington and Montana state.
Yeah, I don't know too much about Idaho except potatoes and shit like that. I don't really.
Yeah, right. It's totally. And in South Idaho, all potatoes. But I live in the mountain part, so it's all lakes and mountains and trees and fishing and hunting and all that stuff. So
man, that's probably really nice.
I'm in the pretty part. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love that, man. I'm used to city life. I'm from Jersey. I had right next to New York City and stuff like that. So buses and trains, that was my whole life. But I had a guy when I was working at Target, and he was the maintenance guy that was there, and he was telling me about how he went to school in Colorado or something like that. Mm-hmm. And he was telling me about the mountains, the Rocky Mountains and stuff like that. And he used to see them from his college. And just how peaceful and just relaxing, and just the air is so much cleaner and stuff like that in the area. You can see the streams and stuff. And it just sounded so refreshing, because I guess being in a hustle and bustle kind of environment forever, it does those points where you can kind of just get away and just fall back into a nice environment instead of just being, constantly on the go. Yeah, I really appreciate it more as I'm getting older. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, we go through so much different things in life, and then, you really appreciate the downtime where you can say, okay, I finally can sit down for a second, take a breath, and enjoy where I am. Yeah. And it's a great feeling. Yeah, sure.
Totally.
How'd you meet your wife?
A funny story. So I was working in the music business. I used to work for Universal Records, and I was there for a year. And I got laid off during the Napster days. People didn't realize that Napster killed the business. Yeah, so I was one of the unlucky few that got laid off during Napster, and I was working at Starbucks at night, and I was super depressed. I'd get off my job and go get a 6-pack of beer and go to my ghetto apartment right across the street from where Jimi Hendrix was buried out there in Renton, Washington.
Damn.
And would drink myself to sleep every night. And one night I was working at Starbucks. This girl walked in, doesn't drink any coffee. And she said, "Hey, we got this cool college age event down at our church. Would you be interested in going?" And I didn't have any friends. I was depressed. She was good looking. And I said, "Heck yeah, I'll go." And I go to this church thing, and it was like this youth night to help them kind of set up and tear down. And I ended up knowing all these guys there. It was like, "Hey man, I haven't seen you in 5 years. I haven't seen you in 10 years. Like, it was just as crazy, and like completely opposite side of the state where I grew up. And about a month later, it was Easter 2004. And I was managing a band. We went out and we partied it up, and I woke up Easter morning and I felt God say, "You're done." I was going on this path of destruction. My life was going to end soon. And I decided in that moment to quit cold turkey, drugs, drinking cigarettes, everything right there in that moment. And I gave my life to Christ. And I called that girl up and I got her voicemail, and I said, "Hey man, thank you so much for inviting me to that church event. Maybe I'll see you at the store." And about a month later, we were dating, and now we've been married for almost 17 years, man.
Yo, that is awesome, man. That is awesome. Listen, yo, you about to have me over here on some baby shit. Like, yo, that's an amazing story, Erik.
Thank
That
you.
is amazing, man. Yo, congratulations. Yeah, that's
Thank you.
crazy that, as soon as you started telling that story, man, the first thing I was thinking, like, damn, man, sometimes, God puts you just right where you're supposed to be in life, man. You
Yeah.
might think that, that's why it's like one of the things I'm trying to get better at learning is like, appreciate the rough times, yo. Appreciate the rough times. Don't just sit back and just bow down and just quit and just like, why me? Why me? You have to really appreciate, because the rough times help build you so you can get to the good times, man. So you can know they're good times. I'm a firm believer of that. And I think that, God definitely, he steers us in the right direction where we need to be. And that just sounds exactly like it's how your wife like saved your life, man. That's incredible.
Totally. Tell her that
That's
all the time, man.
incredible.
She was my angel, man. And
Yeah.
funny enough, we were born on different days and different years, but exactly the same minute, 1:41 p.m. documented in our birth certificates.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah, bro, that's amazing, man. I really thought, listen, and this is nothing against you or anything, but I really thought, I was like, okay, he's gonna come on the show and he's gonna, talk about, his podcast and MMA and stuff like that. You're talking about that. But yo, you got a fucking interesting life, Erik. Like, you're a guest on yourself, man. Even if you didn't have a damn show, that is incredible, man. That's incredible.
I appreciate
much love, man. Much love for that. But yeah, man, it's a lot of work doing this stuff. Did you realize that? When did you actually start doing your podcast and stuff?
So I started Top Rated May as an apparel company in 2012, my wife and I. And funny thing is we had no idea what we were doing. This is during tap out area. I'm like, hey, let's just like try to get in with this tap out crew. And, we bought a bunch of shirts, made a lot of business mistakes. And in 2015, I got bored with it. I literally put an ad in Craigslist and said, who wants to buy this company? And one guy called me up and said, hey, I'll offer you a few grand for the name and the brand and all that stuff. And in that call, I decided that I wasn't ready to quit. And I took the next year to kind of just moseyly get through it. And then in 2017, I launched the Top Rated May podcast. Had no idea what I was doing. Bad microphone, bad lighting. I didn't even look in the camera. I was in a walk-in closet for almost 100 episodes.
Woo!
Like, I just wanted to talk with people. And now we're episode 238 of that show drops this weekend. And it's going awesome, man. I love talking with fighters. And it's such a journey because I'm constantly trying to get better. I have this thing on my wall that constant and never ending improvement. So even on podcasting, I'm always trying to tweak it. How can I make it better? How can I make it sound better? This is my third microphone that I've upgraded. I've got lights in the studio and I've got bigger cameras now. But when I started, it was just this tiny camera and a little snowball mic, man. And I'm just I coach people on how to launch their podcast and how to get it going and how to get those big names and how to get those reviews. And, I was blessed to have my show rank 133 on the Apple podcast and globally 133 in the entrepreneurship category in January of this year. And then just last week, man, I just found out that Top Rated May is in the top 2.5% podcast globally out of 2.5 million. And my Erik Allen show is in the top 3%, man. So it's pretty cool, man. It's been awesome.
That's freaking incredible. That's really awesome, yo. Yeah, it's one of the things, like you said, when I started doing this, I actually had this idea for this kind of thing like almost 10 years ago. And I
Nice.
started it. I wanted it to just be like something like, because I always wanted to do like kind of a talk show. Like that was always kind of like my dream, like radio, whatever.
Yeah.
But I was gonna just do something like on Facebook or Twitter and just kind of like, more like just kind of give quotes and stuff like that and talk about different things. And I never did anything with it. I sat there and just kind of, did it for a little while and then just left it alone. So the page stayed up forever. And then COVID hit. And I had a garage and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start building off this shit. I was like, got some time, we're gonna do this. I was still working, but we weren't doing shit else, you know what I'm saying? So we were home. But that's where I kind of took in and I was like, you know what, this is something that I've been wanting to do. I'm gonna take a risk and take a chance right now and just kind of dive into it. Leave my damn, what am I doing? That's the question that I ask myself all the fucking time. Like I'm really, especially like getting back to my dieting and working out again. What am I doing, man? I think really when you start understanding, like, if I wasn't doing this right now, what would I be doing? Okay, you're probably eating some bad shit, might be playing PlayStation, might be watching a movie you already watched fucking 40 times. Like, what are you doing, man? Are you doing anything that can put you onto a next level? Are you doing anything to put you to the next step? And that's kind of where I went with it. And I was like, you know what? I got my kids, I'm taking care of everybody, I'm working, I know what I can do on my downtime. I'm gonna do something that might grow me. And that's where I started. So I definitely understand that path.
Man, I'm so fascinated with people's stories. And so that was kind of the reason why I started podcasting, was like, I just want to talk to cool people.
Yes.
But then like, as I started to do the stories, I'm like, I'm kind of being selfish. Like selfishly, I wanted to like talk to these guys, but maybe I should like share this with the world because what their story is, it needs to be told. Yeah. And so I love just being able to get those stories out and podcasting. In fact, every day this year, I've either been on a podcast or had someone on my podcast. Because this year I'll release 100 episodes of my 2 podcasts combined, but I'm also going to be a guest on 100 podcasts. And this is one of those 100. And man, so I'm super pumped, man.
Yes, sir. Yes. Hard work, man. You busting your ass. That's right.
No slowing down, man. No slowing down.
And that's the reason why you motivation for me right now. Like, exactly. Because I literally just came back. Like we pushed out about 50, 60 episodes, I think it was, when we first started. And I was going hard. We were doing 2 days a week. I opened up a new show, an entertainment show where I had like musical talent. I wanted to switch it because my family, I've also been really big with music my whole life. We had my father used to manage up and coming artists. I've said this 1,000 times on the show, but so we switched it and we had an entertainment show open up so we could have musical talent come on, and we got a segment where they show off and sing or whatever. So we were doing really big things, and then kind of like everything started kind of falling apart around, so we had to take a break, switch jobs, shit like that or whatever. But me coming back now, like I had an interview the other day, we were supposed to hit up the other day, and just stupid stuff happens or whatever. But it's so much more that I want to do with this than I ever thought before. You know what I mean? Like I talk to my girl all the time, and she used to kind of co-host with me, but I'm just like, hey, babe, I'm doing this. Hey, babe, I'm trying to figure this out. Hey, I'm eating this beer. Every time I go to somebody's house at work, I'm always talking to them about, hey, I got a pod. I just met another podcaster, and she's got over 30,000 people, subscribers and stuff like that. And she had like 10 channels. Yeah, and she's very political. So I don't but, it's just it's cool to like, just see all these people working hard at this, in this kind of business. And it is work, man. It is work. This isn't just a cakewalk, especially if you want to make something of it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, man. And I do everything myself. So I do all the editing, I do all the prospecting, I do, the uploading, all of that, man. And like we were talking earlier, like I have a guy who's building out my website, but like other than that, everything else is done 100% by me. It's
so much work, man. Yo, have you had the videos where it's like the video and the audio been jacked up and you try to make the audio happen?
Man. Dude, it's funny because when I started the podcast, I didn't even know about Apple Podcasts. I was only uploading to YouTube and Facebook. I didn't even know Apple Podcasts existed. Yeah. And then someone's like, dude, where can I hear the audio version? I'm like, what's that, man? Just go to YouTube. And he's like, no, like Apple Podcasts. I'm like, oh, like about a year in, I was like, oh, I guess I should upload this. And so now it goes out to all video from IGTV and Facebook and YouTube, but on also like Audible and Apple and Spotify and all that fun stuff too, man. And that's awesome. It's fun, man. I love doing it. And the whole idea of being able to talk with people, and it's work to edit it and things like that. But yeah, man, I get up at 4 a.m. I work on that till about 6:30 and make the kids lunch, breakfast. And then I come up here and I go to work from 8 to 5. And then somewhere in between there, I do voiceover work and then put that all together and send that out, man. So it's fun.
Yeah. You say you do voiceover. So what do you do voiceover for?
So I don't do any like voices, but I typically will read scripts or audiobooks. So like right now I've got a lady who's sent me a bunch of like books on cacti, which is probably not the most entertaining book to read, but her brother is visually impaired and can't read and wants an audiobook. So she
Okay.
came across as, hey, can you read this into a microphone? And then I just charge them an hourly rate and then we send it off, man. And so I do that. I do a lot of product brand videos. Like typically beard companies will send me products and say, can you do a video with this? I'm like, yeah, sure. No problem. So, you know, that I love the side hustle, man.
Yeah, for real. And you want to know something? These people, did they meet you because of your podcast and your stuff that you're doing?
Some of them have.
Yeah.
I also have a profile on Fiverr.com. And when I put up a profile on Fiverr.com like 3 years ago, I just put it up just to see if anybody would even take a bite. Like I literally just said, hey, you want me to do a video? Cool. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I just was trying to earn some extra $50 a month. And now I've probably done, I mean, I did just a few $100s prior to 2021. And now I've done over 2,500 this year. And just from my Fiverr alone, man. So, you know, it's growing like crazy and I love being able to do that. And, you know, like I said, my goal in the next 12 months is to take my online efforts away from the full-time gig and then go get that property where I can pee off the front porch, man.
Listen,
you know?
man, getting that property and PPP away, bro. Listen, I mean, listen, like I said, Erik, man, I'm very, very happy to be talking to you right now because you're motivating me, man, sitting in this damn chair right now because I'm just hearing, man, because you basically are in a position that, like, you know, I'm like, you know, striving for, man, and that's much credit to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm very passionate about this, man. I want this to be my career. I want to be pissing too. You know what I mean? Like,
totally.
Around me, like, go away, like everybody. But it's very like good to hear, like, you know, somebody who's been doing this and has actually made something from it and is trying to continue to build on it as well, so it can become, like, you know, his dream. And who knows, man, you could pass it down to your kids. It can be as successful as, you know, Joe Rogan or one of them guys up there or whatever, you know. And as long as you continue on it, man, it's gonna be amazing, yo. You definitely have the attitude and the persona for it, man. Meeting people, like you said, the fire. I didn't even think about that. I'm taking notes, man. I'm telling you right now, like, I'm gonna try to build my shit, and I'm learning from that. I'm gonna watch this podcast like 40 times. It's fucking just to learn. But it's really important. Like, you know, I think getting people's different perspectives, yo. I think podcasts, there are a lot out now. You know, it's very hard to try to catch attention because there's so many vast fields of it. But when you do have ones that are good and ones that you're talking, you know, with people and like MMA or entrepreneurships and stuff like that, the motivating part, I think, is what's going to really gain people's attention, man. If somebody can listen to your story and kind of like take in, or listen to somebody else's story and kind of take in that in comparison for themselves, like, I think that's really important. I think people need that shit, yo. Whether it be working out, losing weight, fighting, you know what I'm saying? Working hard, you know, getting, you know, out of a bad situation, meeting a good girl, you know.
Yeah.
There's so much shit you can get from just hearing somebody talk about their own perspective or experience. It's amazing, bro. It's amazing. Who would have thought?
I know, right? Yeah.
Who would have thought?
I never in a million years thought about doing a podcast, you know, and then here we are, man. And I love it, man. And it drives me, man. Like every morning I'm like, all right, I'm checking my calendar. Who do I get to talk to today, man? What show am I on today, man? So I love that aspect of it, man.
Hey, listen, Erik, it was very, very, very nice meeting you, man.
You as well.
You know, I'm glad that we actually got it there. I'm glad I got to know you. I'm definitely already subscribed to your show. I'm going to be looking out for the new episodes. I'm going to check out a couple. I want to check out the Erik Graham one for sure. Yeah, you know, much success to you. You're more than welcome to come on whenever, you know, you got anything going on. You want to come on and talk on the show. You're going to be seeing my numbers up there with you, man. I'm coming up there with you, man, for sure. But hey, Beeline, this is Mr. Erik Allen, and this is a freaking really nice guy, man. As you can hear, he got the voice for the podcast too, man. you got the voice for the commentator and shit. Like, yeah, it sounds good, man. But y'all wasn't even all energized. Sorry, y'all. I'm usually all crazy and wild, but y'all was interested. I was really into this one right here. But Beeline, this is Erik Allen, man. Yo, go subscribe to his channel. I'm gonna put all the descriptions in the bottom. He's growing, man. He is one of the pioneers of this damn field, and you know, he's the reason why you need to do it, man. A lot of motivation, much support, much love. Thank you guys so much. Erik, you got anything you want to say in closing, man?
Man, I just want to say thank you for this opportunity to be here. You're an absolute killer on the mic, dude. People need to be listening to this show and be following you, man, because you're dropping some awesome bombs yourself, dude. So keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep changing the world, brother.
I appreciate it, man. Much love, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, this is Tuesday. Please subscribe. Make sure you got everything going. I'm thinking too much. I can't even get my thoughts together. Yo, listen, we ready to take this shit to the moon, baby. It's right. It's the P-line. Yes. Oh my God, I'm so ready. All right, yo, listen. Hey, until next episode, till next time, we coming back with entertainment show. Trust me, I got somebody coming on. They dipped on me last weekend, but we coming back next Thursday. We will be back with a new entertainment. They gonna show off. That's right, show off segment coming back to you. But until then, we gonna stay true, stay positive, and pay attention to every damn thing you do, because it can get you like Mr. Erik Allen over here, making moves, killing it. To all the upcoming fighters, yo, much love, much respect to you guys. Do your best, man. Work hard, and you're going to get there. That's how shit works. But until next time, yo, I'm out.